and how we kind of turn them into the new and improved fall. So, who are you going to see? We have the Shaman and the Grunts. Everybody remembers those guys. But we've also got a lot of new faces in the Fallen family. We got Fallen Hounds, which are kind of like the demon pit bulls of the family. We also have the Fallen Lunatics, and this image is courtesy of Chris Haga. If I could get a round of applause for Chris Haga. Chris Haga, as much of an effects wizard he is also a phenomenal draftsman and has some crazy ideas. Fallen Lunatic, you won't be able to play him in the demo yet, but when you do see them, these guys, they run at you madly, they stab themselves in the chest until they explode, doing area damage. Just awesome. We've also got the Fallen Overseers as well, and these guys are kind of like the big bad brother of the family. Are there going to be some more Fallen? I'm inclined to say probably, but can't really confirm anything yet. So I'm going to take you through the process of how we do these guys. These are some early concepts, and one of the great things about being part of Blizzard is that we have these core values, and one of them being is that every voice matters. So when we go back to look at a character like the Fallen, we'll say, hey, let's get everybody involved, and everybody gets a chance to draw something up. So you can see a few early concepts here. Some that got a little silly, some that got maybe just didn't quite fit. And again, Chris Haga comes through with some awesome drawings. And really just kind of nailed this fine line, because when you think about the Fallen, they're demons for sure, but they're also like the silliest thing you're going to see in the Diablo universe, like aside from maybe like spear-wielding cows. Like, these guys are it. So we kind of took a look at that, we moved on to the modeling phase, and you can really see actually how low poly this stuff is. And the reason for that is another one of those core values is to serve gameplay. Gameplay first. You'll probably hear that a number of times here. And the thing is that we want as many of these guys on screen as possible. So it's just mass carnage out there. You're just killing wave after wave of these guys. We're also very conscious of things like silhouettes. We want these characters to be instantly readable when you see them on screen. Once we're happy with how the modeling's come out, we'll go ahead and unwrap the characters. We try to make sure that there's room if design comes at us and says, oh hey, we want to have clubs instead of swords. We got to have room to make sure that that happens. And then we'll go ahead and paint these guys up. We're very conscious again about making things readable from game cam. You want to be able to see what you're looking at, how to defend yourself right away. And once we're kind of happy with how the texturing is, we wrap it to the character, and you've got fallen imps in the game. You also hear me talk about as fallen grunts and fallen imps. Sometimes we talk about them a little differently, when they're in development. Again, serving gameplay first. How many fallen is too many fallen? This is an actual screenshot. A mistake, but a screenshot from one of our playtests where we just let a few too many of them loose. I think we're going to tone it back.
No!
So, the second piece of this, I just want to give you a quick run through on the progression of the Witch Doctor. He's one of those characters that really came together well. Like, on the team, he's definitely one of the favorites. Again, opening up to the team, and you can see some of the skill concepts, all the different ideas that we went through. Once we started to get the vibe, we took a little bit of Mayan influence, some African influence. Like, there's a little bit of all sorts of things in here, as well as pulling from the Diablo 2 stuff. We passed this stuff on to Chris Amaral, who just did this phenomenal model. Again, being very conscious of things like silhouette. We also start looking at, well, how are these guys going to upgrade? Like, as you get all this badass loot, like, how is your guy going to feel better and better as you go along? So you can see some of the looks there. And also, we try to support things with all the skill models. Like, every time you release those Plague of Toads, every one of those toads was built. And then along the lines of skills, there are a lot of things that don't make it. And since you guys are here, just kind of a little behind the scenes look at some stuff that you will probably never see in the final game. Unfortunately, we had something called the Wicker Man, and the thing about the Wicker Man was that he was this great idea. Everybody loved him, and we knew we wanted to have this summonable for the Witch Doctor. Well, we put him in there. He felt a little bit too much like a follower from D2. He just didn't work. Eventually, he evolved into the Zombie Dogs, which you can play now. And then, along the lines of one of the more out there ideas, and this is going to steal a little bit of Nick's thunder here, but this is Nick's animation. One of the early ideas was actually to take a fetish. If you remember in D2, the guys in the woods, we would go ahead and put one of those guys in a backpack and have him, this is a stun effect where he's trying to wake him up. So we tried a lot of different things, but again, in terms of how you would upgrade your armor and stuff, we had to make some changes. And so he went away. It doesn't make him any less cool, but just thought I'd show him to you here. And with that, actually, I'm going to go ahead and pass this on to Nick to talk a little bit about animation.
Hello, my name is Nick Shalano. I'm representing the animation team today. And here we are. We are one big happy family. There's 4 animators. We cover all the heroes, monsters, NPCs, and ambient creatures running around. We come from a wide variety of backgrounds. We have a traditional 2D animator, major motion picture CG animator, TV and cartoon animator, and our lead animator has been at Blizzard for 10 years, and he's worked exclusively on the Diablo series. I've worked at other companies, and this is by far the best animation team I've ever been on. So the animation, it starts at the concept phase. And our concept team, they're awesome. They come up with these crazy ideas. And this is where we really get amped up when we see stuff like this. We see this is the concept for the Siegebreaker, and we see it, and we start thinking of all these crazy ideas to come up with. This guy is big. He looks like he's going to destroy the hero. And we want to make sure that we kind of stay true to that. I mean, he looks like he could rip a hero in half and crush him into a million little pieces. After the concept phase, goes to the character team, they build it, it'll go to the tech art team, they'll rig it, and then it comes back to us. And we get to do what we love the most. And this is why I became an animator, and this is the best part about it. We get to read design docs. It's awesome. So yeah, we read, and we read a little more, and we come up, we see what the skills are needed, and we really get to understanding what this character is supposed to do in game. And after we read all these words, we realize that Jay wants awesome, so we're just going to give him awesome. And this basically puts us in the phase where we actually get our hands on the model and the character, and we start posing it out. And this is a bit of we iterate a lot with the poses. And you see the Siegebreaker here, we're trying to stay true to that big, hungry, like badass guy who can just destroy everything. We're trying to find his character in these poses. And we bounce it off the animators and other character artists, and when we finally come up with something that we really like, we move on to the animation phase. And here at the animation phase, this is where all those ideas come to life. We want them to rip things apart, we'll animate them ripping things apart. We want them to stomp and have crazy damage and hit you hard, this is where we animate it. We go through the process to cover locomotion, get hits, attacks, deaths, everything. And this process up until now is also true for heroes. Heroes, though, are about maybe double or triple the amount of animations. And while we have a little more freedom or creativity with the monsters, heroes are very dependent on gameplay. When you guys are playing the game and you're clicking through skills, you want instant feedback, and we have to support that for gameplay. So we have to make our animations, quick and fast if needed. And as you'll see after this Siegebreaker gets destroyed here, which is pretty cool.